Hello, I'm Tim Walker, pastor of Church Alive, and I want to welcome you to Monday Motivation. Every Monday, I'm meeting with you right here to share thoughts and ideas that I think will motivate you and give you some tidbits of information that'll make 2017 the best year of your life. So whatever you do, don't miss it. Tune in every Monday at this same time for Monday Motivation. To find out more about me or about Church Alive, you can go to www.mychurchalive.com. That's mychurchalive.com, and you can find all the information that you need to know about Church Alive and about our ministry. The last couple of weeks we've been talking about what's required to have the best year of your life. And I said in the beginning that first of all, you've got to have a vision. You've got to review that vision. You've got to memorize that vision. You've got to fill your heart with it. Where am I going? What am I after? What am I pursuing? Do I need to lose some weight? If so, how much? If I need to reduce debt, then I've got to figure out how much debt I need to reduce. If I want to grow in my spiritual walk, in my relationship with the Lord, I've got to evaluate my life and figure out where I am in proximity to where I want to go. And I got to have a vision to go to a better place. And let me just say this. If you go through the Bible, you'll see that God is continually challenging us to believe for bigger and better things. There's not one single occasion in the Scripture where God comes to anybody that asks something of him and says, whoa, wait a minute, I can't do that. That's too big. You gotta trim it back. You've got to reduce it. No, it's just the opposite. He's always stretching us. He's always challenging us. He's always trying to get us to believe that he's able to do exceedingly abundantly above all that we're able to ask or think. That even our wildest expectations cannot match the plans and the purpose that God has for us. So I want to challenge you to dream. I want to challenge you to develop a vision to improve your life, to better your finances, to improve your health, to have better relationships, to grow in your walk with God, to live out that dream. You got to review your vision. The second thing that we said that we have to do if we're going to have a banner year, a better year than last year, is we've got to align our belief system with our vision. What we believe has to line up with where we're trying to go. If your beliefs are counterproductive, if your beliefs are contrary to where you say you're going, you're going to do nothing but burn yourself out, frustrate you, because your beliefs are disempowering you. And the Bible tells us, as a man thinks, so is he. In other words, whatever's going on in my head, my thought process, how I see life, what I think about God, what I think about myself, what I think about other people, what I think about circumstances and situations that take place, how I interpret that is going to define how I respond to it. What goes in my head is going to go into my heart. And Proverbs chapter 4 tells us to keep our heart, because out of it are all the issues of life. So I've shared with the Church Alive congregation many times, it's head, heart, hands. Head, heart, hands. Whatever goes in my head gets in my heart. And whatever gets in my heart is going to be produced in my life. Matthew 12, Jesus said, a good man out of the good treasure of his heart is bringing forth good things. So what I'm producing is a result of what's in my heart. And what's in my heart is a direct result of the thoughts that I allow in my mind. Now next week, I was going to do it this week, but I'm going to come back to it next week, because I want to give you time to prepare. Next week, I'm going to talk to you about how to develop beliefs, a belief system that's going to empower you rather than disempower you. But today I just want to talk for a couple of moments about this idea of passion, because you've got to be passionate about what you believe. Passion is a powerful force. And I want you to understand something very, very clearly. Better outcomes are not the result of fate or finally getting your break. Better outcomes are the results of better decisions and wiser choices. If I keep doing what I'm doing, I'm going to keep getting what I'm getting. I can deny it. I can pray. I can do all of those things. I can work harder, but if I'm not working wiser, if I'm not doing the right thing, it doesn't matter how hard you row. If your boat's headed in the wrong direction, you're not going to get where you want to be. And so you've got to make better decisions. If you make better decisions, you're going to get better outcomes. But let's be honest. It's difficult to maintain better decisions. All of us have started making decisions. And we say, well, I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to get out of debt. I'm going to better my relationships. I'm going to grow in my walk with the Lord. But then we find out that there's opposition and there's difficulty. Sometimes you got to deal with the devil. The devil's not just going to get out of your way because you dream big dreams. If you dream big dreams, you got to be ready for big opposition. You've also got to deal with people. There are people that are jealous of you. There are people that are insecure. They can't celebrate your progress or your success, and so they'll do everything they can to pull you back. And then there are your own issues you got to deal with. You got to fight through your own insecurities, your own frustrations, your own limitations. And so in the process of changing these beliefs, and the process of trying to make better choices and wiser decisions, there are going to be setbacks. There's going to be difficulty. You're going to deal with opposition. And so you've got to have a passion. You've got to have something on the inside of you that drives you and pushes you to the point that you say, no matter what it costs me or what I've got to deal with to get where I'm going, I refuse to be denied. I'm not going to allow my setbacks to cause me to step back. I'm going to make my stumbling blocks stepping stones. I'm going to use the opposition to motivate me. I used a statement one time in a sermon called adversity. And I talked about adversity being the breakfast of champions. How do I respond to what's going on in my life is directly proportionate to how passionate I am about where I'm going. When we talk about passion, there are several things you need to understand. Passion is the wind that drives your sail. Passion helps you grow through what you go through. Because listen, if you don't learn, you're just going to repeat it somewhere down the road. But if you're passionate about it, if there's a burning fire on the inside of you, it gives you the strength and the courage to press through and to use your opposition to propel you forward. It also helps you sustain your effort. You got to be listen, if you're going to lose weight, you got to be passionate about it. If you're going to get out of debt, you got to be passionate about it. If you're going to rebuild broken relationships, you got to be passionate about it. And it's your passion that's going to help you sustain your effort. It's passion that helps you sustain your effort. You know, I talk a lot about the difference between life transformation and behavior modification. You know, it's easy to modify our behavior when we're in a conducive environment. You know, when we got a support system and everything is seeming to go our way, you know, we can make changes in our lives, but we can't sustain them if we don't change the way we think. And it's passion that's going to help us work through that process of adjustment and develop the right habits that will help us to sustain the changes that we're trying to make. The third thing about passion is passion will help you stay focused, because you're going to fall. You're going to have setbacks. There's going to be times when you're not going to reach your goals. There are going to be times when it seems like everything is against you and nothing is going your way. And passion will help you find a way to get through even when you don't know how you're going to make it. You just keep working and keep pushing and keep fighting. You know, kind of like Joseph in the Bible had that dream, and then he sold into slavery. He ends up serving as a slave in the house of Potiphar. He does the right thing by not getting involved with Potiphar's wife. He ends up in jail. If anybody had a reason to be bitter and resentful and angry and frustrated, it was Joseph. But there was a passion. There was a dream on the inside of him that kept pushing him and driving him, and he eventually ended up in the house of Pharaoh. Passion will help you continue to press forward. It will energize your life. So how do we lose our passion? How do we get burned out? There are several reasons we get burned out. One is we have an unclear vision. We don't really know where we're going. And so we just go off in so many directions. We lose focus, we lose a sense of direction, and we just get burned out. Another reason we get burned out is because we have an unbalanced schedule. We try to do too many things. You need to focus on one or two things at a time. And when you start making progress in one area and you kind of get that in place and you develop the habits necessary to sustain that, then try something else. A third thing that steals our passion is conflict, unresolved conflict. Nothing will steal your passion and your joy and your enthusiasm, your motivation, like conflict. And sometimes there are people you just can't come to resolution with them. You gotta love yourself enough to move away from them. You got to love your dream and your vision enough to say, hey, you know, I love you, I care about you, but I care about my dream more, and I got to move on. So sometimes it's an unclear vision, it's an unbalanced schedule, it's unresolved conflict, or another one is unrealistic expectations. There are a lot of folks that think, you know, that they're going to start something today and they're going to see instant results tomorrow or in a week or 2 weeks. Normally it doesn't happen like that. It takes some time. So how do we get that passion back? There are 4 things I want to just leave you with today. If you want to write these down, 4 ways to renew your passion. Number 1, remove the junk. Just remove it. REMOVE. There's some things in your life you need to move away from. You need to separate yourself from. Some bad thoughts, some unproductive relationships. You need to move away from some things. You got to remove. Secondly, you need to redirect your energy. You can choose what you're passionate about. Make your mind up. This is where I'm going to focus. This is where I'm going to put my energy. This is where I'm going to sustain my effort. You can decide what you're going to be passionate about. So redirect your energy. The third thing is retool. You know, there's something that I've learned as a musician, and that is I can get bored playing guitar or piano or something like that, and then somebody shows me a new lick or a new chord progression or a new variation, a new rhythm or something, and it'll excite me. It'll get me working again, playing, learning how to get that lick down every time. And it's amazing how retooling and going back and learning something new will restore passion into your life. And then here's the last thing. Re-engage. Get back involved. Get out there. Start trying something. What you'll find is when you get out there and start working and start trying, it'll ignite your passion again. And I want to leave you with just one thought. There's an old African proverb that says this: every morning in Africa, a gazelle wakes up. It knows it must run faster than the fastest lion, or otherwise it will be killed. Every morning in Africa, a lion wakes up. It knows it must run faster than the slowest gazelle, otherwise it will starve to death and die. So it doesn't matter whether you're a lion or a gazelle. When the sun comes up, you better be running. You know, the essence of what that means is you're burning daylight. You get one chance to live your life, and it doesn't matter where you are in what season. Give it your best. Do everything you can do. Never cut yourself short. Give it your best. Do everything you do with passion. And if you'll do that, you'll be amazed at how you'll see the quality of things improve in your life. Don't forget, next Monday, I'm going to be looking for you. This is Pastor Tim, and until then, remember, with God, all things are possible.